Everybody, it is iFork, as you no doubt knew, and welcome back to the Distance Beta. I am here today with Kashuzu. Look at his sweet car. Say hi, Kashuzu.
Hello. How are you all?
And this is another Distance Track Showcase. Today we are playing Neon Pathogen by this guy. I just ran into a saw, but looks like you exploded too.
Yeah, I made the map and I never failed that section.
I'm glad that you just failed twice on camera.
Let's put on a show.
Yes. Okay. Let's get the ball rolling on this, shall we?
All right.
So this is a question that I want to ask pretty much everybody. What got you into Distance?
Nitronic Rush, actually. I'm not sure where I found Nitronic Rush. I know I've seen Total Biscuit's video on the subject, but I don't know that I saw it there first. I feel like I just picked it up from somewhere. I'm a bit of a video game hipster, so coming across that sort of thing is not all too uncommon for me.
You and I are gonna get along great.
I can tell already.
I'm having so much trouble with this tunnel you made.
The tunnel, I like to go off the jump in there, hit the power node as I'm spinning upside down.
Yes, that's like the first time I went through that area, I was like, okay, I see that node and I need to go through it. I feel like I'm supposed to.
Yep. Actually, once I'm upside down on the ceiling, I don't even steer at that point. I just go straight forward and it sort of just automatically leads you right to the spot where you need to jump.
It's really nicely done.
It's totally accidental. Let me let you in on a little secret. I did this entire map without using the spline tool whatsoever. So all of these roads are all the preset roads.
Impressive.
Like all of the curves. I just didn't know. I knew that you could flip things around, and I had seen the dev blogs, but I just didn't know how to do any of that. So
nice.
I think one of the reasons the level flows so well is because I didn't make any of the pieces. They're all just the preset track.
Yeah, everything is just kind of. You do. Now that you mention that, I can really notice that in how everything's positioned.
Yeah.
That's a really clever way to do things, and it works perfectly.
Yeah.
Something else I've noticed that you did is the checkpoints and some of the refreshers. They spin a lot faster than anything else.
I think it looks pretty cool.
It looks pretty awesome. When I noticed that, it kind of made me. Oh, that's so cool. You got into Distance through Nitronic Rush. You found Nitronic Rush through Total Biscuit. What made you want to make a level?
Honestly, I want to be an architect. I've always sort of been into computer-aided design and building things. I played a lot with Legos as a kid. And, as I told you before we started recording, the sorts of games I'm into right now, they're all building games, Kerbal Space Program, Minecraft, and I'm very familiar with outside editors. I spent quite a few years with the Source Engine and the Hammer editor making Gary's mod maps. I never released any of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I've spent about 4 years taking college-level computer-aided design classes. And actually, last May, I was flown out from my home high school in Oregon to Chicago, Illinois for a national architecture competition.
Nice!
And so, I like making things.
That is a very good reason to be making levels, I gotta say.
Yeah, and what's more, I probably will never use any of these things on a portfolio, but they're there if I need to,
Yeah.
And what's more, just learning about design and what makes things good. It's a good way to go.
Do you feel like this is, do you feel like building this is helping you get skills in other areas of architecture at all, or is it just kind of something that's like, yeah, this is fun?
It's kind of a guilty pleasure, but at the same time, I feel like if I know a lot about design in a lot of different design areas, even if they might be, strictly related to video gaming, it'll probably help me in the long run. So I might not realize that I'm building skills, but I picked up proficiency with the level editor quite quickly just because I have so much experience with that kind of thing.
Yeah, I can. This is your first map, right? Or is it
First
just
map,
your?
Yep.
Is it your first or just your first release?
It is my first map. I learned everything as I was going.
Nice. I definitely have to agree that you picked it up pretty quick. What was your inspiration for this design? Was there anything that you saw out there that made you want to do something like this, or is it just sort of the result of improv?
I really wanted to create a cool level. Like, I'd played through all the distance levels, and what I liked about this sort of thing was like just driving around a cool map, doing sweet jumps and backflipping off of walls. That's why I like playing distance. And after having played around with the tools in the game, I wanted to have a couple different areas in the map. I don't know if it's too obvious, but let's see. Oh, okay. I got wrecked.
Haha. Victory will be mine.
Ooh, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. You probably have some sick dev hacks.
Yeah. I know there's another level that has a teleporter just right behind the spawn that leads right to the end.
Yup. I actually showed that one off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think that was last week's or the week before last.
Huh, I see. But, yeah, the level starts off in sort of, a generic distance-y type city, but pretty quick as you drive through sort of the core of the map, everything gets corrupted, and the first sort of obstacles are like the scissor blades surrounding like a corrupted obstacle. So sort of the city trying to deal with the corruption and failing. And in the part of the level you're at now, like the roads go dark, they all use the ancient pieces from when the game was first being developed. And that's sort of the city just being, like dead and empty.
I did notice a sort of progression in the way things changed, and I felt like you were trying to tell a story with it, and I'm glad to see that I was right, and you were. That's really awesome.
It's not a thing that a lot of levels have done so far.
It's not a lot. I know of a few level creators who really try to bring that sort of thing in.
I know that Quartzon's map, Contraband Delivery, is the same sort of way.
Yeah, it is, and that... Oh, man. That was so much fun. This was your first track. What sort of problems did you run into? Like, did you... Yeah, what problems did you run into? I thought I had something else to say after that, but I didn't.
As I said, the fact that I didn't really know how to use the level editor, this is my learning map. I just struck that last pole completely. But like I said, the fact that I didn't really know how roads worked. I didn't know that you could just bend them however you wanted. And so there were a lot of the level design is actually based around the fact that I had no idea what I was doing. And you can't really see it too much here, but later on in the area where the track splits into three in the infected section just after the teleporter, the roads, they don't all come back to a point. If I had known how to use the editor, I would have had all of the roads diverge, or the two roads in the center section you can drive through. But you just can't do that with the regular parts. You have to use the spline tool in order to make the roads fit together. I actually tried, the reason that this area's roads are symmetrical is me trying to make the roads fit together, since I'd seen roads, that are together, and I think my biggest problem also was, roads rotating 45 degrees. There's a part, a preset part that rotates at 15 degrees or something. But it doesn't go all, okay.
Haha.
There's only, it only rotates clockwise. There's no anti-clockwise. And so I was super confused at how people are getting these roads that work as roads,
Yeah.
So a lot of the level is based around that same sort of idea of me having no idea what I'm doing, and that's why a lot of the roads are interconnected, and why there's a lot of tracks and obstacles that have you jumping from one road to the next, is just because I didn't know how to make it work. So.
I gotta say, you did pretty well for not knowing what you were doing. I'm
Yeah,
quite impressed.
this was my test map, you know.
Well, it's better than just a regular old test map.
Yeah. This is my test map. You should wait for my next one.
Oh, I am.
It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I'm trying to make something really unique.
I'm excited.
So we'll see how it goes.
You have piqued my interest. All right. Well, that is pretty much it, and that's all the time I have for today. So thank you for joining me here at Kashuzu.
No problem.
And thank you for making this awesome map. Everybody on the internet, check out his map on the Steam Workshop. It's Neon Pathogen. There is a link in the description. Is there anything you want to plug, Kashuzu? Like a Twitter or anything like that?
Not really. Not at all. I'm not too up on the social networking, at least as far as games go. But I will close it out by saying that the name Neon Pathogen came from a very literal interpretation of what I made in the level. Nitronic Rush has lots of neon light, specifically the color orange. Neon gas is actually orange, and it's sort of a virus-y level, so neon pathogen sort of cropped up.
You clever little... That's so clever. I like that. I like that. Alright, well, thanks again, everybody. See you next time.